Welcome to another Fireside Q A. While it's summer, it's still cold up in the mountains, so I've got the log fire going. And I'm going to go through some of the questions. Thanks to everyone who's posted questions or who's direct messaged me through Facebook. There's still time. I'm going to hold a few more Fireside Q and A's over the coming days during my writer's retreat. So let's cover off on some of the questions that readers have asked. First question is from Fiona from Austin, Texas. She asks, "Hi Jack, just finished listening to the audiobook of Mill Point Road. I read the book, but the audiobook was just incredible. Listening to it made me feel like I was actually in the story alongside the women who I knew intimately. That's Sabine. What a bitch." Okay. Anyway, I would like to know your daily writing routine. How many hours do you spend writing, and where you write? And do you set a daily word count that you need to hit? Okay, look, thanks, Fiona from Austin, Texas. Nice place. I've been there several times. Look, in terms of my writing routine, I have a set routine. I call it just how it works for me. Any other author may be different. I have to have routine. I've got to have discipline. I've got to know what I'm doing every day. It's like a timetable. I call it making sure the trains run on time. And that just works for me. It may not work for whatever works for you if you're an author or whatever. Hats off to you. But this is what works for me because I need that discipline and routine because sometimes I can be pretty slack. So I tend to get up at 6 a.m., read any emails, cover off on a bit of admin work. And then by 7 till 9, by 7 o'clock, I'm writing between. So I do 2-hour blocks, 7 till 9 o'clock. I then have a break from 9 till 10 where I have breakfast and then cover off on any more admin, any more emails that I've got to get back to people about. But doing 7, I'm a morning person. Doing 7 till 9 allows me peaceful, quiet in the household. Sometimes I'll get up at 5 a.m. and write. But I'm a morning person, so I like writing in the morning. I like to get my words in, and I do have a word count, Fiona. I normally have to hit at least 1,000 words a day, 1,000 to 1,500 quality words a day. And that also includes going back and polishing them up at the end of the day, so I can then move on. My chapter lengths are roughly about 1,500 words per chapter, unless I'm writing a fast read, where it's probably 1,000 words a chapter. So I try to get done a chapter a day. So after 10 o'clock, I'm back at my desk writing. For another 2-hour block till 12 noon. And by then, hopefully, I've hit my word count. I'm happy with the chapter. I've gone back and rewritten it several times before lunchtime. And it's a great feeling. I've got it's not a pain. I love writing, but it's just a great feeling to get those words done in the morning, and it's just a good feeling. So then by 12 noon, I have lunch. I take a 2-hour break. If I'm going to do a workout, I'll do a workout. In the afternoon, if I still feel like writing and I've still got ideas bubbling along for the next chapter, I might put another hour or so just to put in a bit more work. Otherwise, I'm doing marketing work for my brand, for the website. I'm doing outlining for the next day. If I'm really feeling ambitious, I'll do another 2-hour session in the evening. I'll do from 6 till 8. I don't really watch much TV. I watch a lot of streaming. But I watch the news, and that's pretty much about it. I'm not. I'll binge watch maybe something on the streaming service, 6 episodes in a couple of days, mainly crime thrillers or mystery thrillers, which I love. And that's what I do, and I'm pretty much in bed by 9 or 10 o'clock at night, and I do that every day. It's rinse repeat. I try to take the weekends off if I'm in the early stages of a manuscript. But as I'm getting towards the second and third rewrite of a completed manuscript, then it's no holds barred. I'm writing 7 days a week. Lots of hours, no weekends, and long days, early starts and late finishes. Simple as that. Okay. Harry from Montecito in Santa Barbara County asks, "Jack, I'm between jobs and I'm looking for a career change. I have a lot of spare time on my hands at the moment and thought about writing a fiction thriller, but I don't know how or where to start. I've never written anything before. Any advice? Would you recommend a creative writing course first before I take the plunge?" Thanks, Harry, in Montecito. Look, great question. I've never, and once again, this is just me, my personal experience. I've never attended a personal writing course. I don't have a master's in English literature. I come from a completely different background. But if you feel that you want to do a professional writing course, creative writing course, there's some fantastic ones around. Whatever gives you the confidence. It's about confidence to put pen to paper or to sit at a keyboard 6 to 8 hours a day. It's really your choice. So and it's like I said in terms of how you start. Look, it's a similar question on last night's Q&A. From a young lady, I believe, about what genre do I write in. My advice always has been write what you want to read. Go to your bookshelf, Harry. Look at if you've read fiction books, look at what you love reading, what you've read in the past, what types of TV shows that you watch. If you like crime thrillers, then write crime thrillers. If you like spy thrillers and espionage, then write a spy thriller. It's as simple as that. Write a James Bond type of book. The genre you're going to be writing in a genre for a long time, so you've got to like what you write. You've got to read what you write too. And the only issue I've got is that, and this is what I don't like, where authors say that they don't like to read. They don't have time to read. My writing has got a lot better purely because I read. I allocate to get through 2 400-page books a month. I know that's not a lot. Some people do a lot more than that. But I just love reading. So my reward, and this comes back to the question from Fiona, part of my schedule, my routine. If I hit my word count, and the reward at the end of the day is I get to sit down for an hour, 2 hours and read. And I see that as a reward. I love reading. If you want to be a better author, read in the genre that you're writing in. If you want to be the next Daniel Silva, or if you want to be the next Wilbur Smith, or the next Dean Koontz, or the next Joe Nesbo, the next Nora Roberts, the next James Patterson. Read those books, read what they do, read the people that have done what you're trying to do. And I don't mean to copy their work, but just get a feel of how they write. The best ever textbooks on writing, and this is probably applies to everyone, not just Harry, is fiction books. People who have written what you love to read. They're the best guide on where to start and how to write. And look, Harry too, like early days, my writing was shocking. My writing's still shocking. My first draft on a manuscript, and any author will tell you this, is horrible. It's clumsy. It's juvenile. It's cheesy. It would fail a grade 5 English essay. So, but you can always fix, you can always rewrite and fix and polish that. So don't be worried about, if I write and I look at it and it's crap. Work on it. You just have to get a thread of an idea and just work on it and the more you write, the better you will get. And that's my advice to you, Harry. So, write what you love to read. If you're not much of a reader, then maybe start reading. If you're not much of a reader, then look at the movies and TV shows that you tend to watch. And we all sort of gravitate towards what we enjoy. So why not? It's more enjoyable when you're writing something that you enjoy watching and enjoy reading about. Next question from Rosa in Indianapolis asks, "Hi Jack, love reading your books. Just wanted to know if you read and do you prefer physical books over ebooks?" Thanks, Rosa. Great question. And I sort of addressed some of that in the previous answer I gave to Harry. I do read, and I do read for enjoyment, and I do read because I want to improve my craft. Simple as that. And I've got a later video coming out explaining how I actually read for pleasure, as well as for becoming a better author. So keep tuned for that video, Rosa. Physical books or ebooks? Look, I prefer all of them. I really do. Audiobooks, physical books, ebooks. I find the convenience of ebooks if I'm going away or if I'm on a plane or traveling. Just having at your fingertips a huge library. I make no bones about it. I'm a Kindle fan from day one. I got a Kindle pretty much when it first came out. It looks nothing like it does today. I've got a Kindle Voyage, and I've got just a basic Kindle Touch, and I just love my Kindle Voyage. What I do now, and this is probably a strategy of how I was trying to work out how to read quicker, is that I'll have a physical book, and I'll also have the ebook, whether I bought it from a library or if I actually bought the ebook. I like reading a physical book during the day. If I'm in a nice chair out on the deck or the porch or at a park, I'll read the physical book. But at night, when it's a bit darker and I'm sitting in bed and eyesight's not that great, I will then switch to the ebook and then keep going, which means I'm still covering off the pages. I find a lot of people who, just swear by having an ebook only. I like a physical book. Plus, I make notes in physical books and I tag physical books, which I'll show people later. But yeah, I love them both. I just think I don't think physical books will ever fall by the wayside. They'll never become obsolete. It'll be damn shame if they do one day. And ebooks, I think they're here to stay, and I think they're fantastic. I do annotate a lot of my ebooks. I can copy them, highlight all sections, and I can then email me as a PDF any interesting paragraphs that I've read in certain ebooks from there. But no, I love them both. So thanks, Rose. I hope that answers your question. Last question from Emma. I hope I pronounced this right. Amadine from Paris, France. Amadine says, "Bonjour, Jacques." I love the way Jacques. Jacque. Love it. Okay. I was wondering who is your favourite villain you have written in all your books and why? You write such wonderfully evil villains that make me want to hate them all. Okay, well that's the whole idea, Amadine, to write. I love reading books where you just want to kill the villain. You want to jump in the pages of the book and stop the villain. You want to kill them. You hate them that much. And I hope that's what I achieve when I write my villains. And it's more than just writing someone who's evil or a psychopath. It's lazy. If you write someone who's, they're a psychopath, or they're a sociopath, or they had an abused childhood, so they're now a serial killer. To me, I find that very lazy. I like exploring, really peeling back the layers of a villain, trying to come up with, and villains have motives, they must. They don't just kill for the sake of it. Some of them do. But I like a villain that's driven by something other than just wanting to be a villain. So my latest standalone thriller that I just completed, 100,000 words manuscript, that's gone off to the editor. That person in that's new. There's a new villain, and hopefully that gives you a clue, will continue in a series of books. But she is my favourite villain because she has a very complex path, and there is some moral ambiguity, and you have to have that in a villain. You need your readers not to sympathise with the villain, to understand, okay, they're motivated other than pure evil. So when I think of this villain, this female villain, there is a huge moral ambiguity where some people, and it's not wrong, but some people will be rooting for her. Not that they want her to kill people in the book, but they can empathise to a certain degree about her past and how she was treated to understand how it affected her and how it designed her and how it shaped her into how she became. And there's great books out there, and I do love villains where the villain ends up being the hero because what they're doing is somehow ethically or morally correct, yet in society we don't tend to take that action. So my favourite villain at the moment is the girl I've just created for my latest standalone thriller that's hopefully coming out in a couple of months. From the existing books that I've written, hands down my favourite villain is Dylan Cobb from Hidden Justice. Once again, he is a complex character, but the reason why I like Dylan Cobb is because on the surface he appears very charming, very knowledgeable, cool, composed, highly educated person, and he's the last person who you'd think would actually be a villain. Now, by me telling you that Dylan Cobb is a villain in Hidden Justice, there's a handful of villains, and you know them, you get introduced to them very early in the story, so I'm not giving anything away, there's no spoilers to that fact. But Dylan Cobb's a very sophisticated villain in the sense that he's an everyday guy, but he's the kind of guy that you want to have on your side when everything hits the fan, strange as it may seem. He is obviously something really truly evil about him, but the fact is that, okay, he's a narcissist, he's narcissistic, and narcissists can be charming. He's a raving misogynist, he hates women, and I explain in the backstory in that book how that came about. But I just liked him because he can spot other villains that are lower than him on the pecking order, and he actually despises other villains. So to answer your question, Amadine, Dylan Cobb was to date is my favourite villain because he's not run-of-the-mill. He's unfortunately the guy that you might bring home for dinner, the guy that you might introduce to your parents, or the person you may end up marrying, and it just happens to be The fact that he is underneath all those layers, he's extremely evil, but he doesn't see anything wrong in what he's doing. So I hope that answers the sample of questions today, and definitely put any other questions up on my Facebook page, and we'll be having another Fireside Q A. I hope you guys are staying safe, and talk to you soon.